I thought since I had some time and the Blue Jays weren't playing tonight, that it made sense for me to do this. As you've already seen by the title, it's the Leafs 2023-2024 season review and the off-season preview. And this off-season for the Toronto Maple Leafs is going to be very interesting. And we'll get to all that in a second. But let's talk about what the 2023-24 season was for the Toronto Maple Leafs. William Nylander got his big boy contract. It's one of the big moments from this year. The fact that Austin Matthews chased for 70 all season long, ended up with 69, but, basically on a 70-goal pace the entire season. And it seemed that the Leafs weren't as good as they, were in years past, right? They were kind of fluttering. At one point, they were out of the playoffs because it looked a little weird. Then they turned it on, and then it got boring because we knew we were going to sit third in the Atlantic Division, and you were either playing Boston or Florida on the road. We get to the trade deadline, and they don't do anything too crazy. They bring in a depth forward. They bring in Joel Edmondson, and they bring in Ilya Lyubushkin, but that's really about it. And everyone's kind of up in arms. They wanted some bigger move, blah, blah, blah. And there's still these massive goalie question marks with Joseph Woll and Ilya Samsonov. We get to the playoffs, and we know it's the Boston Bruins. And every Leaf fan is like, oh God, here we go again. And it was deja vu, as they are down 3-1 in the series. They come back in this series. Joe Woll plays incredible in Game 5 and in Game 6. And because nothing good is allowed to happen to the Toronto Maple Leafs, on a goal, a meaningless goal, may I add, with like 0.1 on the game clock in Game 6, Joe Woll goes flying across to try and make the save. It goes in the back of the net. He does not play Game 7. And the Leafs lose in overtime because of David Pastrnak. And we're here again. Another first-round exit. Another first-round exit into Game 7 against the Boston Bruins. When that all concluded, I said it myself. Change has to be made. We all knew Sheldon Keefe was going to be gone, but that wasn't enough for Leafs Nation. Mitch Marner, John Tavares, who both have no move clauses, one of them's got to go. This core four has to be broken up. Well, to this point, nothing's been done. But it didn't take very long for the Leafs to unload Sheldon Keefe and bring in, shocker, Craig Berube. And obviously the photos have been surfacing recently with Mitch Marner and him having coffee, which is ridiculous, but here we are. What does that mean moving forward? Well, I have no freaking clue. I have no idea what's going to happen this offseason. That's why it's so intriguing. So that was the brief season review. Now let's get to what the offseason will bring for the Toronto Maple Leafs. And these are their upcoming free agents. Restricted free agents. Connor Dewar, which was the forward acquisition at the deadline. Noah Gregor, Nick Robertson. And there are no RFAs, right? Oh, hold on a minute. Timothy Liljegren is an RFA on the back end of the D-core. But the problem with the Toronto Maple Leafs right now is their D-core, they're not signed. TJ Brodie, Joel Edmondson, Mark Giordano, Ilya Lyubushkin, all unrestricted free agents as of July 1st. So right now, contractually, we're disregarding Timothy Liljegren because he does not have a contract yet. The Leafs have Morgan Riley, Jake McCabe, Simon Benoit, Connor Timmins, and Cade Weber, the big dude from, Boston College that they signed? That's it. The D-core needs work. It needs a revamp. And you don't have a choice here. In goal, we obviously know Joseph Woll has that 1 year left, and he's still an RFA after 25-26. And Ilya Samsonov is a free agent. I think we can all agree. See you later. But what happens to that goaltending position, though? Do you bring in some Martin Jones type to go with Joseph Woll? Well, Joseph Woll has not shown the ability to stay healthy. So I don't know if you can do that. In the forward core, your RFAs look like this. We mentioned it, Connor Dewar, Noah Gregor, Nick Robertson. Your unrestricted free agents, we all know, Tyler Bertuzzi and Max Domi. All of Leafs Nation wants both of them back. But I don't know. I think maybe one. But that's it for me. It's going to be a very intriguing offseason. Your D core basically is getting a full revamp other than Morgan Rielly, Jake McCabe, and Simone Benoit. So we'll see. And forward-wise, you're losing, what, $8 million-ish worth of money in Bertuzzi and Domi, assuming they don't re-sign. You've got a lot of holes to fill. Now let's get to the free agents that are going to be out there. And I'm going to read off the names that jump out to me. Okay? Steven Stamkos is one. Sam Reinhart's on here. I'd be baffled if he leaves. Jake Gensel, Tyler Myers, Adam Henrique, Anthony Mantha. There's Tyler Bertuzzi. Teuvo Teravainen, Jason Zucker, Brady Shea, Jacob Vrana, Alec Martinez, Tyler Johnson, Jonathan Marchessault, which would be a very interesting sign. Vladimir Tarasenko, Elias Lindholm, which would be a very interesting one. David Perron, Victor Olofsson, Kevin Labanc. Let's get down to the D-core because that's what we're really looking at here. Chris Tanev is out there. Leaf Nation has been all over this guy for years. Wanted him at the deadline, didn't get him. He is now a free agent once the Dallas Stars season comes to a close. I mean, he is 34, so what are you going to do? Then the guy that I somehow, someway won on this team is Brandon Montour. A right shot D, can put up the points. He's a local boy. He's only 29 years old. He's ready to win now. Dude's playing with Florida. He's one of their key guys on the back end. He's elite. And if you're looking for more of a quiet defender, Brett Pesce, right shot D, sound defensively. He's not going to give you much offensively, but he's not going to give anything away defensively. There are guys out there. Zadorov's a free agent as well. Obviously, Joel Edmondson's still a free agent. Where are we? Eric Johnson. Yeah, now we're getting into the lower guys. But the D-core, there are guys available, but what do the Leafs do? And this is the point where we go to Mitch Marner and John Tavares. Because if you want to bring in a guy like Brandon Montour, and you want to build a good back end, but also not die offensively, well, you're going to need to money. And yes, well, this guy's off the books. Well, this guy's off the books. There's also Willie Nylander's getting a $4 million raise. And also Austin Matthews is getting what? Like a $2 or $3 million raise. The cap only went up $4 million, guys. So the Mitch Marner and John Tavares stuff is the thing that every Leaf fan is just kind of waiting for. What's going to happen? That's the domino. If Mitch Marner gets dealt, or John Tavares, for some reason, would waive a no-trade clause and get dealt, and everything's different. But then there's the other side of things, where do the Leafs trade Mitch Marner? Or do they re-sign him, have kind of that year next season, and then with that Tavares contract coming off the books after next year, you have $11 million to work with, and you didn't lose Mitch Marner. I don't know. I don't know what is going to happen. But there are guys out there. If you look at the forward group, let me pull up that real quick. I mentioned some of them, but I'm going to go out just forwards here. Sam Reinhart, Jake Gensel, Adam Henrique, Anthony Mantha, Tyler Bertuzzi, Teuvo Teravainen, Jason Zucker, Vrana, Tyler Johnson, Marchessault, Tarasenko, Lindholm, Perron, Olofsson, Kevin Labanc, Alex Wenberg, Mike Hoffman, Tyler Toffoli, Victor Arvidsson, Anthony Bolivier, Jake DeBrusk, Jack Roslovic. There's a ton of defensemen on here. Joe Pavelski, I'd be baffled if he even plays anymore. And that Tanner Pearson, and now we're getting down into the low ones. So there aren't many crazy forwards available. So that's where you think, do you bring back a Bertuzzi and a Domi? Because the free agent core, it's not that great for forwards, but there's lots of D guys out there. It's going to be really interesting July 1 onwards for the Leafs. And also what happens with Mitch Marner and John Tavares. I don't know what to expect, Leafs Nation. Changes are coming, we think. Until I see pen to paper and until I see physical transactions, I'm not going to believe it. All right? So you know what, guys? That is going to do it for this one. I wanted to get a video out to you guys kind of breaking down the offseason, breaking down the season. And this is more of a discussion for you guys in the comments below. Let me know your thoughts on the season, the Craig Berube being the Leafs coach, Mitch Marner, John Tavares, all the free agents that I talked about, any trades you want to talk about, let me know in the comments below. Twitter, Discord, Instagram, and of course TikTok is down below. So follow up there if you haven't done so already. And I will talk to you guys, obviously Jays edition, tomorrow night, game 1 of the 3-game set at Rogers Center. I think Jose Barrios gets the ball for the Jays in game 1. Looking to make it 4 straight against the Pirates. We'll see how that one goes. And as for the Leafs, whenever the hell they do something, whether it's the draft or whether it's trade-wise, I'll be here. So thank you guys so much for listening and watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and are ready for this offseason to get going. Talk to you guys then.